We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Our academic and applied esports program provides our competitive gamers a national stage to compete with other Division I universities. Our academic objective allows us to use esports to foster innovative, interdisciplinary connections.
Esports right now is an ever-expanding career field, and having the opportunity to showcase its many facets through education is really inspiring.
Welcome back to the EGF Power Series for Valorant. We are back with the last two maps of the day, and it is going to be Vandal Esports from U of Idaho taking on a couple of their very tough opponents in these last two matches. And I'm going to start over one more time. We are live with EGF Power Series Valorant. Thanks everybody for joining us. Oh, I'm mistaken. Production said never mind. I'm moving right along worst because we've stayed on this long enough. U of Idaho is playing Washington State in this penultimate map of the day.
Yeah, and we're going to be going, trying to see how this one's going to end up going. Obviously, Idaho kind of looked at them and we said, this is a group of death. And they were like, oh, Idaho. Oh, sweet, sweet, poor Idaho. You are once again stuck with some big dogs, and
yeah,
they're ready to tear you apart because they are vehement in the fact that they want to get out of this group. They know it's going to be a tough group, so they are not going to pull any punches. Idaho, what can you do here against Washington State, coming off a win against Marquette?
Yeah, as we do head over to Haven, and yeah, Washington State with a very impressive victory up against Marquette on Split that we just saw. Showed some real grit and just very high skill right now, I think, is also something to point out. You know, the likes of Demetrius and D-Bands coming in with impressive stuff. So we head over onto Haven, where, you know, it's a map that we haven't seen yet today. It's a map that we haven't seen Idaho play. I don't believe it's a map we've even seen WSU play in the last little while either. So we'll see who ends up going all the way on this map here. As Washington State, as much as, you know, they are heavily favored against U of Idaho, it is very important that they don't give up some sort of upset win, because we know how close they are in contention with Marquette in terms of trying to get that second place spot, where it appears that William and Mary might be well on their way to getting that first place spot along with the bye in the final tournament. Past the group stage. So that is definitely a very important thing. These wins, while they might not be as challenging, they are still very important to get up on the board. So as Washington State starts over on the defending side of Haven, we are going to see whether they can take care of it. Because, of course, after this, we are actually going to see Marquette play against U of Idaho as well, I believe. Unless if it's William and Mary. No, it's William and Mary, the last match of the day, who are playing U of Idaho. Yep. So that one also could be somewhat of a blowout. But William and Mary, once again, they need to take care of it. They can't let it slip.
Yep. And now we're going to kind of see the compositions finalize here. A very similar one for Idaho and a very standard one for Washington State. Going to be going very aggressive here on their attacking and defending sides. They have the opportunity to do so with that jet bridge combo, the flash and dash, if you will.
Yep, absolutely. The jet and the breach, so powerful for taking sites, and that attack side of Haven often favored here in these matchups. And the ability to explode onto a site where a lot of the defenders have to be spread thin is a big reason for that. We do see old Joe, back on the Yoru here, and this, did not pay off that well. Were some interesting ideas for University of Idaho, but they never really came to fruition with this kind of Joe and Jalbach combo here coming in as the double duelist. But yeah, the Yoru and the Reyna come through, as well as the Chamber for Kelvinator, and it's Bailey who's been subbed in this time, going on to that Sage. So that's a slightly new look for Idaho, as well as a new player that we haven't seen yet. So we will wait and see what kind of results that, that ends up showing us with this attacking-sided map and a very attack-focused team for University of Idaho.
Yeah. And I think everything you kind of expect if you watch an Idaho series is fast 5-man pushes into something. They'll make the rounds last not too long a lot of the time. And we're going to start out here with some garage pressure already being exerted here onto Washington. Onto Washington State as Joe does end up taking out D-Bands. It's 1-for-1, and now it's a 4v4 as we go into C.
Puts out the fake out, who just stares at the wall, and Joe in turn stares at the fake out for a little bit there, and it ends up being Washington State kind of punishing a little bit of a missed execution there on that push out of Garage. A nice job to get control in Garage there, though. Once again, there's a lot of flashes available over on the side of University of Idaho. Well, now it's just those 2 as opposed to the 4 that they were running before, but still lots of abilities to try to, get access to certain parts of the map, and they do well to get into Garage, but kind of trip up when they're trying to get out. Here come 2 Marshals bought up for the side of Washington State, as well as 2 Spectres and a Judge over on D-Bands.
Now we have who can stop this aggression here from Idaho. Looks like it's going to be on Loaf Main right there. And Ray, first 2 defenders, trying to find some early success, and they found that in spades. Now it's on Loaf Main to clear out this corner, and that they will. Xander goes down, and Washington State looking just about as secure as you can, about as secure as Marquette in this early series.
Absolutely. And you can see the money isn't great for Idaho right now. They sort of seem to have half forced up, buying all their abilities maybe, and didn't get anything out of that, of course, with the flawless round. So now it almost looks like sort of a bonus versus a bonus, though now the rifles do start to come in, and Joe presumably will buy one as well. So that's going to be University of Idaho, their best chance yet to grab a round. And you can already see Washington State moving up aggressively on those defensive positions. As a matter of fact, the B defenders changed their minds and just all head over towards C. But here is D-Bands with that Judge that we talked about. D-Bands gets one right through the cage as well. Loaf Main pouring Marshall shots through. The spike is on the ground. D-Bands picks up dropped the Judge and then picked it back up. Okay, now here comes the fault line into the aftershock, and D-Bands finishes it off. 4 players remain for Washington State and University of Idaho. Well, that was over before it began, that attack.
4 rifles all picked up. They don't got to spend a single credit on those members right there. I'm surprised no one's someone buy him. Someone buy your Cypher. That is just rude. That's actually worse because you can't buy armor with it. So what happens is or you can't buy utility either with it. So what happens if a round where they spend everything and they don't have anything and you can't buy that stuff for them? So I mean, it's just like you generally want to keep money even. It's not good practice. Yeah. It's not good practice. It just isn't good practice, but also rude. They deserve money too.
This is kind of something we talked about with Marquette, where even when they clearly had a big skill advantage and prep advantage, they still were able to, keep their discipline and kind of play correct Valorant a lot of the time, which I really like to see. In this case, though, correct Valorant, be damned. It's going to be the knives coming through in a flawless round as Loaf Main punishes Bailey at the end. 5-0, and Washington State want to finish this one off right quick.
Yep. Seems to be the trend against Idaho, unfortunately for them. But we will be going in here, trying to see what these teams are going to muster. Or what Idaho is going to muster, as it looks like a bunch of shotguns. Similar to what we saw last series from them. A lot, and I mean a lot of shotguns. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense considering how up in your face they end up getting with you.
Yeah, they're down to the wire, though, with their decision-making. And did they buy that last gun? Here's a big flash. D-Bands with the Odin out, but Bailey manages to trade that one. And Xander as well, getting a overzealous Demetrius. He and Loafmane will equalize. Oh, Loafmane is so good still. Bailey with some nice shots from the Spectre, but nothing doing in the end. It's Ree to finish them off. Washington State up 5-0. The rounds are quick. They're fast and furious. This time, Idaho did do some damage. They will end up getting that operator for Kelvinator, but the rest of their money still remains a little rough. Looks like they're getting most of a full gun round here, though.
Mostly a full gun round going to be coming out. And this will kind of lead into I think one of the biggest things for Idaho is like they're kind of just making a go at it, right? We see them talking in all chat a lot of the time in their matches. They're having a fun go of it, at least, and I'm happy for that at the very least, because they get every time they've been here, they get put into these groups, and it's just kind of like, man, why must we torture them so?
They end up getting put against championship contenders, exactly, and it is tough. Demetrius, what? Demetrius! Joe was trying to use the dimensional drift, and Demetrius just pulls him right back to reality. And there is the knife in the back. So that's Washington State really leaning into this kind of fun-loving, wacky style that University of Idaho brings. Washington State match their energy and bring the firepower as well. The guns continue to come through. University of Idaho on max loss bonus, able to continue sort of at least mostly buying up every round, as long as they're willing to relegate a couple of players to judges and shotguns. And indeed, that's what they're, bulldogs and shotguns, and that's exactly what they're doing. And this time they're going to push into A, and they're going to find absolutely no resistance first. They turn around to try to catch this flank. Little do they know, A site is wide open, but here comes Loafmane, missing a bunch of knives. Ree bails him out. A site still available. By now, Idaho should probably have some sort of an idea. This site is wide open, but it's going to be a 3 versus 5 where the retake. Washington State comes through, trying to find one. Demetrius looking to play some aim labs here, but here's Bailey coming out with a judge. Not gonna do anything there. And a flawless round once again from Washington State with a 5-player flank up mid.
And now, much of the same we're probably going to see. About that carryover. Yeah, see, they're having fun with it. They're all chatting and whatnot. So I'm happy that at the very least. And we're kind of seeing, I'm going to see a lot of the time, that's kind of the play from these teams. When they kind of see this, they're going to run up mid. They're going to, especially on Haven in particular, a map that actually can allow for it pretty easily, because it gets you into the rest of the map very quickly. Trying to play Minecraft. See. Oh, okay. Everyone's turning on Demetrius because he,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can all see it, but we're kind of having them. They're waiting. This is what we saw before. I saw this before for Idaho. If they're pushing your spawn, they will sit in spawn and wait for you.
Yeah, everybody in this game has now basically come to terms with exactly what's going on here. Demetrius and Ree pushing into spawn.
Wait, Javak?
Okay, Flawless comes through. Baited? Well, chat. I think we all see the writing on the wall here.
Yeah.
But no, glad we took a bit of a longer break. A long day, a lot of very intense Valorant, and now Worst and I've got a bit of food in our bellies, and we're ready to cast more Valorant. I mean, that's what's happening right here. How else can I put it, really? This is Valorant. This is the game of Valorant.
This is Valorant right now, as we are. I think this is
See, it's Valorant.
Xander is taking the aftershock. Joe is 23 HP in a dream, has the TP, isn't behind.
Joe,
300 credits.
Joe gets a plant, right, baby. This is the plant. 23 HP, as you say. 1 kill gives him the dimensional drift as well. And they have the info. Here comes. Oh, the flash comes through. They actually kind of flashed themselves going out. If he trades, Washington State with a 9-0 lead in the defensive half. And how wacky does this get? We've got a few more rounds left to play. How many memes do we see? How many shenanigans per second can these two teams rack up right now?
And Odin's, Judges, Bucky's potentially. All of it can come out here in this matchup.
Nothing is
And,
off limits right now.
Yeah, nothing is off limits at all. So I think we're already starting to see the starts of it here with these Odins and Joe. Okay, they're just gonna run it down. We saw this before on Ascent. It worked out pretty well for them as Joe tries to get in behind. He could try to find someone, especially with the utility they have to offer. Instantly trying to find one with the running gun, does find it. The Judge is gonna end that run though.
That was a nice play by Joe. I like that play out of the dimensional drift. And there comes the push back in. Bailey not checking that left corner. And here's Demetrius. Jalbach, though, has gotten a lot of value, but now pinched between two. 10-0 will be the score. Washington State continue. Well, we said they got to take care of it. Doesn't look like that's going to be too much of a problem. That's 3 Odins now. Can we make it 4? Yes. Do I hear 5? Can I hear 5 Odins? 5 Odins. Anybody going once, going twice? It's going to be Loafmane not joining their team.
Well, 12 seconds for it.
That's true. Lots of time. If I was them, I'd be screaming in all chat right now. There it is. The 5th Odin goes. Sold to Washington State University. And all that spam about to come through. You can see there was 1 Odin on Kelvinator, and that, well, what's better than 1 Odin? Maybe more than 1 Odin, how about? Here's D-Bands pushing up. 5 Odins indeed. This time Bailey does manage to shut down D-Bands.
Knife does come through, doesn't find quite anything, I don't believe. And now it's time for them to walk up. Flash is on through. And they clear this angle, especially when they're full flash looking for the knife. But Loafmane denies it. Bat not going to find its target. It's going to be an Odin through the stroke. The Bucky, like I said, another one of the members of the Crazy Club is going to make its appearance and not going to find any value there. As 11-0 is the scoreline, much like the game, except, you know, they did go 12-0 on their side, right? And then they could not get the perfect game. Idaho denied it.
That's right, they didn't get the pistol. Yeah, I think that the tone of this game kind of makes me think that we might have Washington State give up a round for free at some point. These two teams are definitely, they've played a lot of Valorant already today, especially Washington State, and they are definitely ready. Ooh, look at this. Nice little stack. Olaf boost.
And this doesn't... Wait, this is just a scenic... Oh, they're taking a picture! Oh,
thank you so much, Duke, for showing us that. This is really cute.
I wonder what the plan is from this position.
I mean, there's
I really
no way
wonder.
their opponents will expect this, so I think we can both agree on that.
It's retake time, retake simulator with the Odins, I guess. Odins
Look at
and
this.
knives are on the plan.
That's
There it
just,
is.
that is really heartwarming.
Majestic. Oh, it's crab walking too.
Yeah,
all I
here we
need is
go.
the dualies, and then we can really have some throwbacks right now. As I don't know, there's no banana in this game, but if there was a banana, we could just crab walk up banana with dualies. That would be pretty fun, but not gonna happen.
Dun, 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 dun. Elvinator coming through, trying to get through to these crab walkers, and ends up punishing one. Here's Loafmane now with the blades, but they're gonna be punished by that. Stop singing before we get
They have time.
DMCA'd. Is there time? I believe there is not time, and indeed, University of Idaho will put a round on the board. So, huge props to defeat that strategy. Which, you know, I don't know how they possibly prepared for that crab walk strategy. It's the first time Washington State has pulled it out, but still, Idaho somehow get the read worst.
Yeah, and now we have to kind of decide. What does this half go from? You know, where does it go from? Do they win the pistol? Did they lose the pistol? Is that a 13-1? I remember it was 13-2 against Marquette, I believe.
That's right, 13-2.
Because they won the pistol and then they won the round after. So.
Yeah. That is a question. I mean, University of Idaho, 1-1 on pistol rounds. No, 1-2 now that they've lost that first pistol round to Washington State here, but the Spectres bought up. It's all sheriffs. This town ain't big enough for all of Washington State right now, as the Cowboys are out in force, and they're going to try to take down the Outlaws. Here's Jailbach barely getting past their own teammate's wall. Demetrius will find the first. Here's Jailbach, though, trying to find more. No, it's still Demetrius. And they go up. They're getting right up into heaven. No, they go into B, actually. And they are going to be able to get access to the site here, but the question is, do they even care about that? Demetrius, reach for the sky, he says. And it's Ree remaining. Ree is on their own right now and misses a couple of critical Sheriff shots. Now, D-Bands has gone down on C site and the spike has been dropped. Washington State have literally no interest at all in planting it. No, they actually do go back. So it looks like they're going to take that spike and realize, no, C is not the correct spot for us to go. We actually want to head somewhere else.
One enemy remaining.
Demetrius with 4.
Yeah. Looking for that 5th. But Helminator will not allow it. Helminator will take this out with the arcane gun. It'll give them the power of the bats, and it'll allow them to really take this one as they're looking. They're trying to find each other in just a moment. Gun was out, the knife was out, I mean, for just a moment. The ace comes through. And the really cool animation, post-kill animation does come through as well.
Yeah, you know, the whole plan to stream that animation. Both Joe and Bailey complimenting Demetrius on a sexy ace indeed. And it's worst nightmare coming into this next round.
Oh, God.
Look at the guns for Washington.
No. Everyone, look at how bad this weapon is. Please, I really need you guys
It
to
would
watch
be
these
such
to just
poetic
use
justice
these
if
weapons.
Idaho loses or wins this round.
Yes, if they win this round, I just want to point it out. Never buy that gun again.
Terminator having to
close.
teleport away, but teleports right back and right into a flash. The Bucky not going to be useful if you're completely blind. Here's Loafmane up top. There's the flash coming in from Yoru. The wall comes up, but Ree is already over. Look at those stingers. They could barely do anything against Bailey right now.
He's taking no damage. That gun is so bad.
I can't believe this
Almost
is
loses to
actually
the Bucky.
happening.
You almost lose the Bucky.
Down B.
They are very close to losing to the Buckies right now, that's for sure. Ree is on
This gun is
15 HP. They're heading back into the site. What could be a better demonstration? Here's Iffy coming through. Obviously can't get the kill. There's a double kill in one shot for Joe from the Bucky, and it's only Iffy remaining. The Spectre continues to sing out. Iffy has to switch over to the Sheriff to finish it off.
The gun is legitimately just better. You need to swap to it. The stinger sucks. Everyone, stop.
It couldn't have ended any better than that, folks. We finally get justice for worst. The Sheriff shown to be the
Stop
superior
using the
gun
stinger.
to the Stinger. Oh man, good for Joe, putting up 10 kills, getting to double digits over there on that Yoru. Definitely doing some cool stuff, I have to admit. Like, there is some really cool, like, we've seen Yoru now at the highest level. We've seen some wild business from that agent, and I think, you know, it only goes up from here in terms of the potential. It's just so hard to kind of get that already for an event, but once people do, you know, that is something to keep an eye out for, and I really like Joe kind of paving the trail in that way.
And yeah, we're going to try to see again. We have Idaho again right after this with William and Mary.
Idaho's coming back. Yeah, the fun continues. So we will be back.
Right down.
Yeah, exactly. We will be back in just a few minutes for more University of Idaho, and I know none of you are going anywhere.